Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated, where today, really excited. This is a big one for me. I'm joined by actor Alexandre Willaume. So welcome, Alexander.
Thank you. That's a new way of saying it, Willem. That's cool.
Well, you tell me. I'm guessing, so you tell me.
One of those. It's a fucked up name, so it's French, even though I'm Danish, which is so weird. And so, Alexandre in Danish is also a girl's name, so it's just
really.
Yeah.
Well, you pronounce it. Pronounce your last name for me. Let me hear
it. It's Alexandre Willaume.
Willaume. Oh,
so
yeah. So, of course, I should have had a V.
J, yeah. The double L becomes a J. Yeah.
It
sounded good when you said it.
Yeah. Well, feel free to use that. I should have asked because I was like, nah, I'm just going to go for it. See how it goes.
No. I like it that way. Hey, it's an
honor. I should have
known
it was a V, like a Willem. I should have known that. We've been lucky enough to talk to a few people out of the country, and it's always a little tricky with the language. But you speak English perfectly, and I'm guessing you speak a couple of languages.
Yeah. Well, I think it bears down to the fact that we're a very small country, so we need to definitely learn English, and it's taught from the first day of school as well. But of course, Danish is the but this is down to also working abroad. This is So
it's job security. You almost have to learn it.
So I think that's why it's. But thank you. I don't even know what my accent sounds like. I know it doesn't sound American, but it's not English either. It's British either. I don't know what it's.
Well, yeah, it's not West Virginian. I can tell you that.
I wish. I would love to sound like that. It sounds so cool.
Yeah, This is the role you need. You need a role where you play, somebody from West Virginia. You have to learn the accent. That'd be great.
I think you would laugh your ass off if you heard me try to do that.
So let's start here. Tell me a little bit about what got you into the entertainment business. What made you want to become an actor?
Well, it was very early. It was. I had 2 or 3 things that I wanted to be. I wanted to be a chef as well. I'm a food buff, and I'm still into that. So, and then the acting, and then I kind of flirted with the idea of music as well. So I'm a singer, and I've been in a lot of bands, but it was one of those where the chef part that fell away because I read this article when I was 14 years old or something like that. That what you call the expected life, the how many years you expected to live as an actor. Male actor was like 54, and a chef was 52. So I went for the. At least that's the story I tell. So I said, okay, then it's going to be an actor. It was something like that, and then the music followed me for quite many years. Yeah. So this is when I was 14 or 15, and if you wanted to do something about the acting thing, I wanted to get into the school. There's like 3 schools in Denmark,
right?
That is paid for, that is already paid for. So but it's very hard to get in. It's like there's 1,000 people trying to get in every year, and it's only like 8 seats or something like that.
Oh wow!
So it's very expensive for the state to educate actors. It's really, but it's a very cool education. But you have to be 18 to do that. So when I was 14, I was kind of I'm going to study on. I'm just going to go to school till I'm 18, and then I'm going to try to get in. And it took me 5 years to get in. So I got into the state school of acting in the National School of Acting when I was 23, and then a lot of things is given to you because the theater sees you and they start hiring you. So that's how it started in that way. But it's just something that's always been there, and I wanted to do stand-up. I did stand-up comedy for a couple of years. Yeah. I don't know if I was good, but I had fun doing it. I was a very angry one. It was very, sinister.
Oh, that probably would have been hilarious. Yeah, that's not easy. I mean, that takes some guts to get up there and do stand up.
Yeah, I still feel like I would like to venture back and do it, but I think it's more in the back of my head. I don't think I got the guts anymore. People are very, very good now. You got a
Yeah.
lot of good comedians over there as well. But it started out with me listening to Richard Pryor tapes, actually.
Oh, really?
So I was like 6 or 7 or 8, and I was listening to these tapes that somebody brought from US.
That's pretty early to be listening to Richard Pryor.
I know. I don't think I even knew what it was. It was just,
yeah.
I just fell over them. It was just something. But I remember there was something about this. Yeah. I was about,
yeah. That's
cool.
And
you're educated. So I'm from the National Danish Theatre School, educated in the year 2000, and then it kind of just went from there.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I know you did a ton of Danish movies, Danish TV shows, and then kind of transferred over. Which, by the way, I've seen some of those here and there. There's a lot of really good stuff that comes from your country. It's you guys have some really quality entertainment. It's really really good. I was curious though, when did you try to switch over? When did you move into doing things more on an international level, or come over to the States?
Yeah, that was actually with the Last Kingdom season 1. So I don't know. That's like 7, 8 years ago, or something like that?
Yeah, that's not too. Yeah, it's fairly recent. Last Kingdom, by the way, is Bernard Cornwell is the writer.
Yeah.
But I read all those books. It's not grown up, but in young adulthood, really good stuff. And I was pretty excited when that became a TV show. And then you showed up on it, and you were great in it. It's really well done show.
Thank you. I love that character because of the name Kjartan the Cruel, which kind of it's just one of those surnames that you can't run from it, can you? It's like
that'd be a good stand-up comedian name.
Well, so I was very, so I've been doing all this in Denmark, and it's been quite good, and it's been having fun. But I kind of did some things in Denmark that kind of put me into a box. This is what I do, and I wasn't happy about that. So at my agent, they started getting interest from abroad, and I think it was a movie or something like that. I was very, very close at getting as a bad guy up against, I can't even remember what it was, but it was a big movie, and then my agent said, well, they kind of like you, so I think we need to go to UK and figure this out. So we went for 3 days to UK just to talk to casters. They already knew, and they set up meetings, and it was one of those, where everything just lines up perfectly. It's not often, but it was one of those, like 3 days of I was just pinching myself wherever I went. It was just, they just welcomed me in, and they were really, really being very kind, and
terrific.
And I was sitting with this caster called Kelly Hendry Valentine. She wasn't paying attention. She was kind of like in another space. And I was like, have I lost my mojo? Or what
right.
The fuck is on, or what? I was being polite and said, should we do this another day? You seem like occupied by something. And she said, no, sorry, but I'm casting this series, and I can't stop thinking that it's you. It's we finally, because they couldn't figure out who to play this character.
Yeah.
And they've been looking for it. And she said, can you stay until tomorrow and meet the director? And I said, no, I have to go back. It was like the last meeting before going to the airplane. And I said, but give me the text and I'll learn it in the plane, and then I'll record it immediately when I land, and you'll have it on the desk tomorrow at 7 in the morning. And I did that, and that landed me the job, and I was like, fuck. And I got my UK agent as well. That was another one of the casters. When I left the meeting, she phoned this agent and said, "You need to meet this guy." So he phoned me and said, "I didn't want any more actors, but I'm told to meet you." And after half an hour,
that doesn't bode well.
Do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? And I looked at my agent and I said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So it was just a perfect storm, or what you call it. It was amazing. And then I landed that first gig, the Last Kingdom, and I thought that was a fluke. I thought they're gonna figure me out. They're gonna phone me up later and go, no. We made it. We made a boo boo.
Yeah. No, and then so you had a little role in Tomb Raider. I saw you in that.
Yeah.
That was pretty good, and that was a pretty big budget movie.
That was a big one. Yeah. And it was one of those. It was supposed to be more. It was supposed to be a more vibrant role, or what you say, but they kind of went away from it when I was into it, which was I was a bit sad about. But I love the director and everything. It was one of those where, let's just do it. Roa, the director, is Norwegian. It was kind of. So we can talk in that way. So Norwegians and Swedish, Alicia is Swedish, and I'm Danish. And we can talk in our own language to each other and understand. So
nice.
That held out. And I met Walton, who's a fucking awesome guy, man. He's great. And it was just one of those where, I know it's a bit small, and I haven't got a lot to do, but it was actually really, really fun doing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it kind of set the bar for. I have to remember that I need. It's not all about the job. It's about a job where you can do something. I need to do something that's a bit not bigger, but more has more meat to the bones.
Yeah.
So, but it was one of those. It was fun being in that kind of big animal, which it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. But it's been more about the series. It's I did the Luc Besson as well, the movie. He was another character as well. Yeah. But I loved it. I mean, I'm so fucking blessed. I'm actually getting paid to do what I love and then go to amazing places.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
No. So it's even when it's tough, it's still very enjoyable. Yeah.
So you've got there's a movie that just came out on that new HBO Max series or TV show that we plan on checking out this weekend. Is The Head? Am I getting that right?
The Head.
Yeah. And you've got a big role in that one.
Yeah, I'm one of the leads. Yeah.
It looks awesome. So it's like a team staying in Antarctica, is that right?
Yeah.
Or the South Pole, something like that, or the Arctic, one of those. And when you come, you're the summer guy. When you come to show up, everybody's dead.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like a mystery. You got to figure it out.
Which is kind of perfect because then the cameras are all on me. So.
Yeah. It sounds like we're way excited to watch it. That's our.
No, it is really good. I'm really proud about it. It's a weird combo because it's set in Antarctica, but it's filmed in Tenerife in Spain. So we were doing winter clothes in 34 or 35 degrees Celsius heat.
Yeah.
So it was then we ended up in Iceland doing the outside bits that was not done on green screen on a glacier there. But it was a Spanish team, a Spanish director, and but because it's like a what do you call that? Sorry, sometimes my English goes like it's a scientist. What do you call that? Base?
Yeah, like a scientific base. Yeah, just
yeah. But I'm really proud about it. Yeah, it's coming to HBO Max. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that one.
Really cool. It's really cool.
That's our weekend viewing. We're gonna. That's our Valentine's Day viewing.
I think it's really, really good, and it's really the way that it's split up is, of course, that I leave them when they go into the winter stay, and it is in real life when scientists go to Antarctica, you're based there for like 5 or 6 months, and you can't escape it. Everything shuts down, and there's no planes going in and out, so you're there for 5 or 6 months. And I leave my wife and all the other scientists there. She's a scientist as well. And then when I come back after the winter, there haven't been any radio contact with them for three weeks. So it's just, it's not a big thing. It's just a mild kind of worry. But then I land and everything is just shut down, and there's snow and ice everywhere. And it's a mystery, but it's not from I'm not a detective. I'm not a policeman. So it's kind of a man trying to figure out what happened and why did these guys that were based there, that were colleagues and friends, how did that end up with all these dead people? So it's kind of and it's a love story as well. But I'm really proud.
How do you fit a love story into that?
Because I'm looking for my wife.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. But you figure out things about her that's not nice to know. So it's while searching for whether she's dead as well or not, and you don't know.
That actually, I mean, that's kind of a grim role, but that had to be a fun role to play. I mean, you got to demonstrate some range in that role.
Yeah, I think this might been closest to my heart and what I want to do, because it's kind of, he's quite masculine, but he's really, really on the edge all the time, because it's the love of his life that's missing, and all these, it's not like a macho role in that way, but he knows how to get things done. But then, because the director was so cool, Jorge, we were talking about when we did the scenes, that do it in a way that shows that he's very good at his job, but when he's alone, he can break down. So we got these amazing scenes where he just sits on a bed somewhere alone, and breaks down. And I'm really proud of. I'm really, really proud of that. I think that sets the tone for what I want to do, at least. But it's taken some years to get to this point where I'm offered the jobs where I can do these things.
And so how do you get to that emotion when you got to break down? How are you getting there? Do you have a song or stuff? What's getting you there?
I just think of Corona. No, no. It's. I think if it's well written, it kind of gets me there in that way. I don't have to think about sad things. I don't use. I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah.
I'm not a method actor in that way. But I like to do a lot of jokes on set, even if it's the heavy scenes. But it kind of, I think if it's well written, it gets me there in itself. Yeah. If it has to be a big breakdown, I have to concentrate about it, of course. But and I have to stay in that moment.
Right.
But yeah, it kind of gets me there, because I'm 48 years old now, and I mean, I'm a softie now. I got kids. I can't watch this without crying. And so it's right there. So if I tell myself, why is he breaking down and what is happening, and it kind of, I almost choke up right then and there. So it's that's not so difficult for me. It's harder for me to play if I should play like a sexy guy or something like that.
Yeah.
That's hard for me. I like being how you doing kind of guy. I can't even do it without laughing.
None of us can.
No. So I would any day I would rather big breakdowns and cry and all that than do a how you doing role.
It does change you once you start having kids, or like me. I've got three grandkids, and it changes. I cry at the drop of a hat now. Everything makes me emotional.
You have three grandkids.
Three grandkids. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's I've got let's see, 1 year, 9 months, 14 months, 20 months. They're fairly young.
That is amazing. Wow. Yeah, but it is something to do with the fact that before kids I was happy. With kids I'm happy, but it's so different lives. And before kids, I could easily, at any given point, just stand up and walk away from anything. I mean, if it didn't have my interest, or if something was getting too like a fight, I could just go. Having kids, you need to stand fine. And I've sold my soul so many times now to. I'm not a religious guy. I actually don't like religion in any way or form. But having kids, I have sold my soul so many times to whatever is out there, that they are kept safe.
Yeah, of course, that's what you do.
Take me instead. So that's weird. They fuck with you.
They do. Yeah, really. That's a perfect way to say it, because they do. So I have to. So my favorite fantasy series is The Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
So we got to talk about that for a minute, because I'm so excited about this show. And I'm sure you've run into a little bit of it. But fans of that series, our biggest fear is that it would be done poorly. That they would adapt the books and just totally screw it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, all we've really got to go on is the cast, but it's a phenomenal cast. And we were all so excited about Thom Merrilin getting cast, because there was some rumors that he wasn't going to be in the film or in the TV show. So we were so excited for you to get that role. So I'm wondering about what you thought about that, and have you had a chance to read any of it?
I will try to talk about it without talking about it.
That's right. I know you're limited on what you can give away.
I'm really, really very limited. But I didn't know the books. I didn't know the story at all. This is one of those where a UK caster suggested me for it, and I know what they were looking for.
Right.
And I know what, because I was just kind of searching for what is it, and they were definitely looking for somebody older, because the character is older. And I know that there was a couple of references to like Jeff Bridges and Sam Elliott and I was like, hey, I'm not that old. Come on, guys, what are you doing? But then I kind of just went, oh, fuck it, because it was really, really interesting.
Yeah.
And I just kind of did my own. I did my own take on it. I really didn't care how it was written. I just kind of, this is how I would do it, and take it or leave it in that way. And they liked it, and I was like, okay. Awesome. But I'm really, really. I don't think I know what I'm in for yet.
Yeah.
Because I can see that it is very, very big.
Yeah.
I've been treating it like a job, like any job, and I wanted to get the most fun out of it, and meet all these lovely people. But after filming, I kind of dove into it, and I've been contacted by a lot of fans, and I'm being very. I hope they understand that it's nothing personal, but I'm really not allowed to reach out.
You can't give it away.
I will probably get a call from them after talking to you about it. But I mean,
I'm being good. I'm not asking anything too difficult.
but I know it's big, and I know this character. He's really, really cool.
Yeah, he is. He's
he's
a very popular character.
And I don't see myself as like a cool guy, but I'm definitely trying to do him as a very, very cool dude.
Yeah, well, that's exciting. And there's like I'm without giving anything away, in the first book, let's just say Thom has some really good scenes in the book. So we're hoping that we get to see some of that early on in the show, because he's prominent. Let's say that in the
book. And I didn't know until afterwards. I didn't. Yeah. I really didn't know until afterwards, and I was taken to school by various different people. Said, "Do you know what it is you're doing?" And of course I do, but it was so busy times for me, so I didn't have time to like read all the books and all that. And to be fair,
it's only 15,000 pages.
Yeah. And if there are books, I don't like reading it before, because I'm only doing the manuscript, and I don't like the big conversation on sets about things that's not in the script. I really don't like them. I like to dive into the script, and so of course now I'm starting to reading them.
Yeah.
But beforehand, I really didn't know what I was in for. But it looks like it's going to be a cool.
It's going to be a monster. I mean, you better get ready. It's it was always, I'm nerdy, but me and my friends growing up, the two series that we read were Game of Thrones and Wheel of Time, and we love Game of Thrones, but Wheel of Time was the one we really preferred. So yeah, look out. That's you're in for it.
Cool.
Let me ask you this, because this is and that's okay if you can't answer, but this one you may be able to answer. So Thom Merrilin he plays kind of like a bard, or a gleeman is what they call him. And you're a singer. So did you get an opportunity to sing a little bit?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was the short answer.
Well, that's all. I'm trying to keep it pretty simple.
No. I've given him a voice, and I hope people are gonna be blown backwards and go, "What the fuck?" Yeah. No. I really, really hope. So I can definitely, and I can say that because the showrunner, I think he actually wrote. He's been writing something about Thom's guitar and that he has some singing to do. Yeah. And it was cool. I hope there's a lot more of that. That was cool.
You had to like that because you're a singer. I mean, that's, you're acting and
but
singing.
I know if in your country there's a lot of very, very good actors that also can sing. We don't have that singing background in Denmark. So when usually when an actor says that he or she can sing, it's no better than your aunt, to be fair. So, but yeah, I'm a bit better than that. But you'll have to wait. I hope I make everybody proud.
Yeah. Do we know when is? I know they haven't announced an air date, but do we have a general timeline when that may be coming out? Is it this year? Is it next year?
I can't say.
All right. We'll just wait.
Let me find.
You know what that means? That means after it airs, you have to come back.
So yeah.
Yeah, we got to when it shows, and then you can talk about it. You got to come back.
Then I can definitely. Hey, you got my word. You can go, and then I can give you some of the stories that I would like to say. Yeah.
Well, no, that's part of.
I'm actually really The last thing I'm going to say about it is I'm really looking forward to, because I know he's very defined in his looks.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to see the reaction on the look that we chose.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to ask you about that, but I held back because
I'm not revealing anything, but
yeah, I'll say this as a fan, we want to know, but we don't want to know because we want to be surprised.
I'm definitely aware that I don't want people to go around saying that I was a fuck up in that role. I definitely do not want that.
No, you're such a good actor. I'm sure you're going to be great. That's
I hope so.
The buzz that from you just online, the buzz has been that people are very happy with you being chosen to play Thom. So I think that's a good sign.
That's a good start. Let's say it that way, and I hope that I can make everybody happy.
Yeah. Well, and we want this show to go on for a while. We don't want one season. We want multiple seasons. Yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I bet.
Normally, I actually really enjoy getting into new sets, and I don't like being on shows that carries on and on and on. But this is one of them. That I would, but it has actually something to do with the guy, Thom Merrilin. It's something to do with that. He's really, really cool, and I would like to expand that character to be more but who knows, maybe they hate everything that I don't know. I mean, you never know. No, and then he's not in it anymore.
Yeah.
But I hope.
Yeah, no, I'm sure we'll see lots of you in it. How did it's such a great cast. How did the cast get along together?
I think for my part, really, really well. Yeah. We were. Mine were. I don't know. We got along. I haven't met everybody.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people I haven't met.
Yeah. But, well, it's a big cast.
But it was a big set. But what I liked about it was that, and what I love about big sets, it doesn't matter. It all comes down to like camera, sound, light, and it's like 10 people anyways. Whether you're filming in Denmark, on a big stage, Hollywood type of, it always comes down to that. The grip, the like really, really small, and just telling a story. And it was the same here, even though it was a humongous set. It was the same. You mentioned Tomb Raider. That was one of the mind-blowing things. That
right.
The sets they had built in South Africa, in Cape Town. It was like the biggest. I mean, things that I thought had been done on green screen was built.
Wow.
And I was really pinching myself. I was like, fuck. And it was the same with the Valerian. I think it's normally more for movies, yeah. These big sets. The head that's coming, that is now on HBO Max, they built it as well, but it still felt small and everything was reachable, but the big ones, wow. And it was the same with the Wheel of Time. It was some amazing sets. Last Kingdom as well. That was shit.
Yeah.
I had a castle in second season. It was just, you built this? I remember the first season because it was actually a Danish guy called Peter Gansler who played. I kill a whole family in like the first season. I burn everything, and he's one of my good friends from Denmark, and it was actually supposed to be a Swedish guy called. It doesn't matter, but his house that I was supposed to burn with him and his whole family inside. That was actually built for real. That was solid, big
Really?
logs, really, really incredible. And they burned it. They said, so we've done everything. And I could feel that this is not the norm, because even executive producers and everybody was flown in to see it. Everybody was like, this big castle, they just torched it and filmed it for like
That's amazing.
4 hours. It was just standing there going, I'm as I said, I'm not a cool kind of guy, so I can't even hide that. I was like, what? Whoa,
I've seen that one.
it's like it's the same thing when you arrive in your car in the morning and you got your trailer and all that. I wish I was one of those guys who just kind of casually walks out and just puts out a cigarette and then walks into his trailer and goes like this. I'm still a little kid. I still go, what the fuck? What? Is that my trailer? What? I'm still like that. And
hopefully you always will be.
My drivers always have a lot of fun with that, because they're used to very cool people. And I'm like, I'm the least cool one. I can't hide that I'm giving the keys to a city that I never expected to have.
That's awesome.
Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
So is there a role or a genre that you haven't done that you would like to try?
I think I really, really, I'm finally getting to a point where I can get these characters, and it's like when you see the head, it's characters like that. It is actually like Bruce Wayne, Batman. I like those tormented people who kind of are in the right place at the right time to solve something. They might even die as a part of it, but I like those type
roles.
And I've been playing a lot of baddies. I've been killing a lot of people going abroad, UK and US, and I'm finally not. I'm not. Those are not the offers that I'm getting now. It is actually way more a bigger range and definitely more.
That's good.
Tormented people doing great things.
Yeah,
and those are I just really want to go that way. So I don't know if I haven't done them genres, but I don't care if it's a sci-fi or if it is a thriller of a love story. That is what I put into the characters.
Yeah,
I'm a bit fed up with just being, generic baddie. I need there to be something else. Something. I don't mind killing people, but I need him to be something more. Unless it's like a James Bond movie, I was up for one a very short while, a role in that. That's an iconic thing.
Yeah, you have to do that.
And we have Danes in there. We got Mads Mikkelsen and different others, and it was for the baddie as well. And I would love to do that. I would love to do of course, if it's like that, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, well, that's right. You have to do those.
Yeah.
I mean, those type movies you have to do.
Yeah, I would love but otherwise, it's just I'm just so thrilled that I was invited in, and I'm a Dane, and if you let a Dane in, you're not getting rid of them. We don't give a fuck. If you just open the door a little bit, I will make sure it's busted open, wide open.
Oh, I love that.
You're not getting rid of me. So yeah. This is the early days, if you're asking me. So I just hope that I get, and I can see that I can't tell you about the next thing that I'm going to do, but it's definitely in that direction as well.
Yeah.
And it is just bigger and more vibrant roles and English speaking. And I know that you very nice to say that I speak the language well, but it is second nature. So it is still, my brain still struggles.
Right.
And especially because Danish, it's kind of back to front in the way. So my when I haven't been speaking English for a bit, it just fucks up in my head. So and that's where I'm right now. It's just like and a lot of things like humor, it's hard, but I'm getting there, and I just want to continue this way, and yeah, I don't want to be confined to only do Danish things anymore. I'm really not that interested in this market.
Yeah.
Here unless it's really good stories, and that's
Well,
what
right.
the biggest gifts of getting into your market over there and UK is just so, there's so many fucking awesome people.
Yeah.
I mean, in front and behind the cameras. Just
right.
It amazes me the level of talent that I get to meet every day. I'm really flabbergasted. And I have to remember that I'm one of them as well. So yeah.
That's right. Yes, you are.
My dad told me that. Remember, sorry, my brother. Look around. If you're amazed with the people that you're among, you need to remember that you're one of them. And I'm trying to think of it like that. That I belong.
That's right. You belong.
You know that
That's
feeling.
Right.
Hey man, I belong.
Any plans to get back into music at some point?
No, I think there's enough actors trying to sing out there in that way.
There's a lot.
Their own. I've going into studios now. I've been saying for a lot of years that I would trade my life in a heartbeat if I could do the rock star thing instead.
Yeah.
Play with musicians and do that. I don't think I'm on that level. I really do not. And even when I was in bands with great musicians, that was in other great bands, I always felt like I just missed like 10% to be like really extraordinary.
Yeah.
I had a lot of charm.
Well, that's a big step.
Like I wasn't up there. So whenever it's like theater. I don't do theater anymore, but when it was theater, musical theater, or when it is like for the Wheel of Time, so like I'm just really, really happy that I get the possibility to go into sound studios and do that.
Yeah.
But you should never say never. But
that's right. Never say never.
I miss the music. I really miss music. I really, really miss.
Do you play guitar?
Yeah. Not well, but I can play the guitar. But not all that well. I actually just bought one because I wanted to get back in the saddle. And
well, that's good.
Yeah. But my problem is Corona days, and when I work a lot, I'm way more into learning new things, and I'm a painter as well, and that's a big part of my life. Doing art, and it's a huge. I go down to my studio and I paint. I do exhibitions and all that, and I haven't done one. I think I've done one painting in these 11 months, and normally I'm constantly doing it.
Yeah.
But there's been no inspiration whatsoever, and now I just landed the next couple of jobs of what I'm going to do, and I can feel my brain is starting to work again. So it's one of those things. Because I could have learned to play the guitar like a fucking rock god in these 11 months, but there's been no interest in doing anything else than drinking wine and bitching about COVID.
Yeah, we're all in that boat. My wife's a painter, and she for most of last year she ran into the same problem. Just inspiration wise, she was just having trouble getting motivated. Yeah. And it's really just been the last few months that she's kind of gotten back to where she's painting again.
That's exactly it. You can go and watch them. I mean, I'm only saying this because I'm not like it's a big thing in my life, and I got a lot of exhibitions and I sell quite a lot. So it's not a hobby thing. It's a big thing, and I miss getting those ideas. But you can see it on like my name, Alexandre Willaume .dk, and you can see the stuff there. But I just miss being creative, and it's a weird time because you have all the time in the world to be created, but all we're thinking about is when is everything gonna go back to normal. And
Right.
of course, you're worried about the economy as well, and all.
Yeah, for sure.
And people around you, and I know that there are people out there who are way harder, have a harder life than I do, and I just think it's so depressing, and it's so. My heart really goes out, and I mean that in I'm being truthful. It really, really, I'm really struggling with how many people just started their own businesses and everything when this started, and they're just, yeah, being bankrupt, and it's, and we coming from Denmark, we're really protected. I mean, we are really, I mean, when you're poor here, it's not like being poor in your country. Trust me. It is different. And even though in US you call us socialist, we're the least social. I don't know where that came into your politics of calling us socialists. It's mind blowing sometimes, the references. We're nowhere in that, but we do take care of our most vulnerable. Yeah.
Yeah.
We pay a shitload of money in tax. I pay more than 50% of my
Holy
income.
cow.
But
That's amazing.
that means it's not. I'm not saying that as me. No, everybody does that.
Right.
Everybody. So it's. But that means that any given time, I can phone a doctor to come and look at my kids.
Right.
That's what I pay for. And if you're unemployed, you get help, and you get help in a way that you can live. So it's all these things that and that's not socialist. That's just being fucking human.
Yeah,
Because
agreed.
sometimes when you hear, I don't know why we're talking about this. It's just me now. Sorry, but it's just mind-boggling that this is called sometimes almost that we're communists or something. I was like, what the fuck? When there's talking about freedom, you have no idea. As a freedom, we got freedom. We got ultimate freedom, and ultimate freedom of speech. So much that it's almost boring. You can't do anything to upset anybody. I mean, it's in that way. It's so. I don't see us as socialist or anything else. We are just really protective of the least fortunate.
I think that's commendable, and I think a lot of it's based on just ignorance. Just not knowing. But I'm glad you kind of went down that rabbit hole, because that's really interesting.
I'm just saying, because it's coming from when you look at your elections and all these, it's just because Obama. I know that he split the waters as well, but it's just from a European point of view. That was a man with some integrity and some things to. I mean, this is a vision, but he was just fucked with all these weird things that you got in your politics, like the Senate and all that, and House of the way that you can stop people from, like Obamacare and all that. I mean, you're struggling with some things that it's every day over here, and it does not in the least make us any more in any way a socialist or any of that. We just I'm really rooting for you guys. I really hope that your president now can get you back together, those two halves, and get mommy and daddy to talk again.
That's right.
Really getting back to not being so busy about all the shit, and just try to be a bit more positive and root for. And the same thing about all these. I'm really how many money do you need? Some of the really wealthy in Denmark as well. I just don't get it. I don't get. I get that you would like $1 billion. I get that. I would like it anyway. But why 1,000 billion? Why 100? Why? I mean, how many do you need? I mean, come on, man. Yeah. And some of these major corporations, it's just like, fuck. We got the Lego family as well. We got a lot of Maersk. We got a lot of those as well. It's just enough, man. And that's not coming from.
Agreed. It makes you wonder, why aren't we, if you had $100 billion, why wouldn't you take 98 billion of that and help
Definitely.
people with it, make things better?
Definitely. Yeah, and so what if I plaster my name on every fucking building and the hospital call it Alexandre Willaume
Yeah,
Hospital?
who
Who gives a
cares?
fuck? I don't care. Just give some back. It's too much. It's just you can't use it. It's too much.
Yeah,
And
it's kind of sickening, really, because the disparity for the top, the people at the very top of the money chain and everybody else, it's so large, and just
yeah,
that can't be healthy. It's
no,
just that's not the way
no,
things should be, and I think the majority of us agree with that. But correcting it, not so easy.
no. I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
It is. I don't know how you're gonna reboot. You need to start over again. I don't know.
Yeah,
We're rooting for
I'm
you.
with you.
We all like US, and it's cool people, and it's just I'm really sad to say that the last president, that was embarrassing, and it was yeah. I'm not going to go into politics, but being a Dane, I can't keep my mouth shut. It's just one of those, and
I
it's
didn't
just
stop
embarrassing.
you.
It's like if that was a company, if that was a company, you nobody would have listened to him. I mean, if you would have
Right.
said, "What is that douchebag doing?" I mean, and it kind of defines you everywhere else in the world. And this, you man, I'm talking to you like we're normal people on each side of the fucking planet. We can talk together.
That's
I'm
right.
not going to
Exactly
define
right.
you because of that douchebag. But
Yeah.
you were for a couple of years defined by that, and I'm sad to say that's the reality.
Yeah, well, a
Is.
lot of us feel that way,
Yeah,
and a lot of us feel embarrassed about the last few years, and we're hopeful that we can get back. Whatever side of the aisle you fall politically, we're hoping we can get back to where we're doing it together. We're moving forward together, and that's
you should be able to disagree and to
that's
talk to
right.
each other as well. And I don't know how it got out there. And this is like an ugly divorce. It's weird. It's weird because you still, I mean, you should still be able to the people that you disagree the most with. You should still be able to sit down and, like, if there were different politics in a family, you should still be able to sit down
That's
and
right.
eat, talk about it.
We
And
used to
actually,
have around the table, you'd have very heated discussions
yeah,
around
yeah,
politics, but as soon as you got up from the table, it was just business as normal. We were just
yeah,
family.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You need to be that again. Yeah, I'm rooting for you.
Well, sir, thank you so much, because this has been fun. Yeah, it's crazy. We're all these. What time is it over there? We're so far away.
It's like 6 o'clock or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's here.
Half
It's just a
past,
little
half
bit
past 6. Yeah.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little after afternoon, but this has been just a blast for me, and I mean it. You have to come back so we can talk Wheel of Time stuff when you're able. And I know that's still up in the air, but some point in the next year or so, it's going to come to TV. So
Yeah.
it'll be there here before we know it. That gives you time to catch up on all the reading.
That's right. I'm gonna do that. You just reach out and I'll come back, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir. So okay, so before I let you go,
Yeah.
is there anything that you have upcoming other than the Head that's just come to HBO that we can keep an eye out for?
I did a Danish series called Equinox, which is on Netflix
Yeah,
now. Which is a very so as an actor, I didn't do a lot on the show, but it's one of those characters that's very important, and I'm gonna
yeah.
go on to do second season of that as well. But that's you can see that on Netflix.
Okay.
No, no, I'm mostly following the Head now. It's kind of gone all around the world now, and immensely proud of that. So
Yeah.
if there's anything, you should go out and see that. But the other one is like it's Equinox is a very weird. I haven't seen that in ages. This kind of story. It's very complex and very
Yeah.
weird. But it's kind of cool, and it's a cool character. But I was supposed to do that for just a month back, and then I was going on to Ireland to do another show. but then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I had to say goodbye to that job. And then, yeah, no, so that's it. And then now it's all about, but I can't say anything about that. But
that's right. We know what's coming.
Yeah, the next thing that I'm going to do is all about that. But go watch The Head. I think you're going to enjoy it.
Oh yeah. That's on the agenda for the weekend. We're gonna knock that one out. That should be fun. Is there do you have anything on social media?
I'm on Instagram. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. You have an Instagram.
My Instagram is like my diary. So it's my name, Alexandre Willaume, but it's also called the Danish. So and then two, what do you call that? Two underscore.
Yeah.
And then Danish.
I'm not sure what it's called, but yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
That's like a diary. So it's not polished in any way. It's not to sell or promote anything, but it's open for everybody. And it is like a diary for me because I forget. I forget things, and then it's just kind of, so it's family.
Yeah, you keep track of it.
And it's I have got Facebook, but I haven't been in there for 1.5 years. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like the way people talk to each other in there. So
yeah, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. A lot of people move.
My Instagram is there, and it also directs you to the whole lot. I'm immensely proud of, and that's very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, sir, thank you so much. Hold on one second. I'm gonna hit pause for us. All right, so that was Alexandre Willaume. I think I got it right that time. Willaume. You'll have to tell me next time I talk to him if I got that right. So I didn't tell him, but I tried to find somebody pronouncing his last name because I wanted to make sure I got it right, because I'm notorious for screwing up pronunciations. But the only one I could find that I could follow were in English. So they were all screwing it up too. So I knew I was probably wrong, but I took a shot at it. But Willaume. So that's pretty great. But it was such a great opportunity to speak with him. And I know we had a few technical difficulties here and there. We're so far apart, but I hope you really enjoyed that interview. He was absolutely amazing. What a talented guy. So he acts, he speaks multiple languages, he sings, he's an artist. I mean, he does it all, and just a really, really terrific guy. So I was a fan coming into the interview. I'm a bigger fan coming out of the interview, and I can't wait to talk to him about the Wheel of Time when he's allowed to speak about it. Because I knew coming in that we wouldn't be able to dive into that too much. Although we did find out that he gets to sing a little bit, so that was a good little tidbit. But I'm excited to see what he does with the role of Thom. So thank you all so much for joining with us again today and this week. You keep coming back. We appreciate that so much. We do not take that for granted. I hope you enjoyed that episode. We keep trying to bring fun, entertaining, unique, I think, people to the show. And we appreciate that you watch. If you haven't done so, please go to YouTube and subscribe to MeisterCon Pod. We'd appreciate that. You can find all of our over 200 episodes on meistercon.com. So we've got all the video and audio episodes on our website. So please check that out. And until next time, thank you all so much. Bye.